And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Going Nuclear, full-blown coverage of the land. We are a part of the Fanatical Elves Network, a subsidiary of the Fanster Sports Network. I'm Ethan Greenberg, and alongside of me is my co-host, Mike Rasinski. And joining us tonight, we have got a full house. It is crunch time, baby. It is crunch time. We have with us McCain Spraggling, Bobby Kanchar, and Ryan Ruiz, representing the Cleveland Crunch. Welcome to the show, fellas. How are you all doing? I know you've got practice here coming up very soon as the Crunch is in the home stretch here as we head toward the playoffs, April 11th. Bobby, McCain, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. McCain, you're driving in your car, but not so fast that you feel like you're drunk?
No, I'm just sitting stationary, so no worries with that.
Good. Safety first. They're going to need both of you guys for the playoffs, so good.
Yes. I think your owner would be happy to see that as well.
You better be stationary, no seatbelt.
Oh no.
Hey.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Ryan, Bobby, McCain, thank you very much for joining us. As mentioned, these fellas, they are joining us all from the Cleveland Crunch. And, Cleveland has had a pretty nice history of indoor soccer. And starting back with the Cleveland Force at the old Richfield Coliseum and watching guys like Kai Hoskeby and Carl Valentine, Dennis Mepham, and the likes. And then, you had the run of the Crunch. And that was extremely successful with Zoran Karic and Hector Marinero, the dynamic duo, Otto Orff in goal. And you guys are the defending champions. How exciting is it to be able to bring this kind of stuff back, this excitement in soccer back to Cleveland? McCain, what are your thoughts?
Like you said, it's just the history is there. The club is just as big as the name. So I think it's just a great feeling. As I'm sure I can speak for every single one of the teammates, just a good feeling knowing that we could potentially win another one in front of everyone at home. So that's just how I feel about it.
How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up indoor soccer and you go all the way back to Cleveland Force days, and then now in the 90s, the Crunch, and now us. I know McCain and I had personal relationships with individuals and players on the Cleveland Force, such as the George Nanchoff and Louis Nanchoff.
Yes.
And then we have personal relationships with the 90s Crunch, and now we're holding it down. So it's really exciting, and we can't wait to host downtown.
Yeah, that is amazing. I mean, you guys, you play over at the Sportsplex, and Ryan, I know you said that you guys, if I don't think it was last season, but maybe a couple of years ago, you were able to get a couple of dates at the IX Center, and you drew 6,000 over a weekend. Is that right, Ryan?
Yeah, it had about 6,000 come through in 2 days.
Yeah, that is really fantastic. But yeah, so a chance here to possibly, like you said, not only win the, go back to back in the championship, but also to do this on your home turf, as it were, down at the Wolstein Center, formerly the Convocation Center. And folks, I put up on the bottom of the screen the website for the Cleveland Crunch. So be sure to check that out. Also posted here is a link. You can go to this site, thewolsteincenter.com. You can get tickets there and such. But yeah, so again, I really appreciate you guys both being here. Growing up in the area, McCain, you're just a kid, you're a kid from Akron, right? You went to Brush High School. I mean, what got you into soccer?
Honestly, it was just trying to do something different. A lot of kids don't play soccer where I grew up on the east side of Akron, so it was just kind of like the one opportunity that I had in my mother somewhere that offered soccer, and I just haven't looked back since then. So that's pretty much how I gotten into it. And as Bobby stated before, George Nanchoff was one of the guys that did a lot for me growing up, and he found me in like a small exhibition game, and I played internationals growing up, so that's kind of how I stuck with it.
Yeah. What about you, Bobby? How did you come to love soccer?
Well, my dad played a little bit, and there was always a ball around my feet when I was 3, 4 years old. And then, being being Serbian and having a strong Serbian community in Broadview Heights, we gathered around and played soccer together. And as McCain mentioned, internationals, we both played that. We both played for that club, which was prominent for a very long time here.
Can you guys speak to just the how this league differs from the other soccer leagues you played in? Because both of you played, high school, college in the area, played through different leagues. This is a reincarnation of one of the indoor soccer leagues, and the Crunch is a reincarnation, like we talked about, of some of the old indoor days that we all remember. So how does this league differ from what you guys have played in the past? Bobby, how about we go to you first?
The league differs every year, but the game doesn't really for us because we grew up playing with the walls. Nowadays, kids don't grow up playing with the walls. So this indoor game doesn't come to a shock to us, but getting used to and playing against the various talents now that we have Toronto, which is a very good team. We have Amarillo as well. That is a challenge in its own.
Well, they're good teams, but they're not as good as you. 9-1 is what I'm looking at, and like you guys' goal differential, you guys have like 50 more goals than the second place team. So what about you, Bobby? What about playing indoor soccer? How's that differ than the outdoor league, and how is this league different than other indoor leagues you played on?
Or you mean McCain?
I'm sorry, McCain. Yes.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, like he said, pretty much I'll just comment on the game doesn't change that much. Of course you get newer teams in different cities, so of course that's just different. You get a lot of different fan bases and things like that, but I wouldn't say the leagues are that much different. Of course you go from college to indoor soccer, which is a big jump where you can't really compare too much of outdoor soccer to indoor soccer. But like you said, in the whole, it's just the love and passion we have the game. So I think that kind of goes to a lot with why we succeed so much. So
Right now, McCain, first of all, I understand your nickname is the Train, and also I have seen your signature backflip there off the boards. Now I was a little bit concerned. The boards, I mean, I know they've got to give, because if they're too stiff, that would create some problems if you get body checked in there. But man, quite the acrobat. Where did you come up with that?
Actually, I actually did backflips growing up all the time. My mother, she was a cheerleading for Richmond Heights High School, and I would go run on the court at halftime and just do a regular backflip. And I think that started it off for me. And I think my first year in San Diego, we were just at training one night, and I happened to flip off the wall, and then it happened in the game, and I think I just kind of just kept it, made it a thing, like a signature, like you said.
Right. And did you and I was going to ask you, you were what was I going to say? You got an amazing goal. I saw the highlight from the other night, from this past weekend, the scissor kick. I got to hear the play-by-play of that. Did you just see the ball in a certain way and go, this is the opportunity, this is the time to pull it out?
Yeah. So it's always funny with bicycle kicks because, of course, they look difficult, but, it's all about just placing the ball where you want it to be. And I kind of came to the conclusion that the more that I don't think about where to put the ball is the most of the times that I make the shot. So this time it was a matter of, I had Admir. He's the best player in the league by far. So he could have easily scored that goal. So my thought process wasn't, what to do with the goal. It was just to be ready just in case he played it to me. So thankfully he grabbed an assist for himself and played that ball perfectly to me. And it was just kind of slow motion, as well as the goalie said after the game. He was like, dude, I don't know how that happened. Everything was just in slow motion. But I was just thankful to put something in the back of the net. And, of course, my back was sore the next day, but I'm used to it.
I'd be in the hospital if I tried something like that. So at least you're just only sore.
Yeah, I lost to a case of 40 bottles of 16.9 ounce bottles of water from the BJ's Wholesale Club. So that just to kind of show that your athletic ability far outweighs anything that I could do, and so that would maybe good. Okay, and Bobby, we don't want to get you any moving violations here. Make sure your seatbelt is on. This is very important. I know the police out there in Northeast Ohio. I'm sure they love you, but yeah, we don't want any problems.
Hey, one thing that I thought was
about that, guys.
That's okay.
Oh, no, not at all. You guys have practice. You got to get ready for these playoffs. The one thing I noticed when I was just looking at the roster, most of the roster is made up of folks from Ohio. Is that by design? Is that how do you you guys have both been on the team for 5 years now. How do you make the team? Was it a tryout 5 years ago when the Crunch came back? And is it just a lot of Northeast Ohio or Ohio people in the area try out, or how does that kind of happen?
It's funny you asked that because the other day I was at my checkup for my ankle, and the individual that was helping me asked me the same thing. Hey, how'd you get on the Crunch? And I mentioned that since the resurgence, we were contacted, and then us players, we've grown up playing in Northeast Ohio, so we know all the best players in Northeast Ohio. Hey, let's play together. Let's get together. Let's make this thing happen.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's pretty okay. That's pretty amazing. So is the network of just kind of the soccer network you guys had to call around, and obviously it's been pretty successful. you guys had a good network. If already won a championship and hopefully on your way to win a second.
Third.
Or third. Excuse me. Yeah, second in a row, but third. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and here and Bobby, how did you do this? I know this is, Ryan sent this to me. Credit to Raw Image Photography. I mean, you're lighting the ball on fire. I really like that magic trick. Are you going to be touring as a magician? Where can we find?
There's no magic here. Maybe in my feet sometimes, but that's about it.
Okay. Do you ever notice? I mean, I'm really amazed. As I was telling Ryan, my dad, he's from England, and sadly we're Tottenham Hotspur supporters, and they're rather disappointing. But soccer's runs in my blood, and watching that, and the footwork that soccer players have is just incredible. I look at it, and it does look like magic. Do you guys? How did you get to have such great footwork? Was it just hours and hours of practice? I mean, what went into McCain?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's just a mixture of, like you said, hours of training and just practice and, naturalness, I would say, for most of us. We've been lucky and blessed enough to have a talent as such. But, as if it goes with anything else, you got to put the time in to work with it all, So we've been playing for a long time now, and we continue to get better. It's not like we have it all together, We always can work more and more to get better and better, But I think it's just a mixture of all of that, I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, this is as you guys are all, playing in the MLIS. I mean, certainly back in the day, in the prior iteration of the Crunch, the seasons like in the MPSL, in the former MI, they were a longer season. And Ryan, maybe you can speak to that. I mean, is that something that this league is looking to have longer seasons in more games, or is that kind of cost prohibitive? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. There's a lot of variables that come into play, Ethan. We did in a handful of league meetings look at expanding the season to 14 games this year. That probably is going to happen next year. But just like any league, the league has to grow. Competition has to get better. So it's baby steps until we can get more games on the schedule. We're just grateful to be able to play 12 and grateful to be in the playoffs every single year.
Right. And so as you guys are having these successes and you're getting great crowds at the sportsplex, how does that help you? And are you able to be out in the community to kind of further draw interest, not only from a fan perspective, but of getting the youth to play?
That it's on our mission statement is to represent youth soccer and get out to the kids. It's one of the main reasons why we started the Cleveland Crunch Foundation, to give back to kids who may not be able to afford to play soccer or afford equipment or whatever the case may be, the less fortunate. Um, you know, for me being a co-owner and my role with the team, it's important for us to get out to the community. It's important for us to do autism camps. It's important for us for something as small as trick or treats or trunk or treats, like that. That stuff is important to me. So these players are very willing to get out there and meet their fans and put smiles on faces, because the reality is all three of us, even though we're in different age groups, that's what the old Crunch did for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and speaking of the love of the game for the players, I'm guessing you guys do this because really you love the game, and with a 12-game season, this isn't I'm guessing a full-time gig for you. So how do you balance your everyday life with this pretty cool opportunity to play some professional soccer as well?
It's not easy. It's not easy. But we manage it because, like you said, we love it. We love it. Like driving to practice now at 8 o'clock when you have a work day tomorrow, a full work day tomorrow. But it's about the love of the game, and it's about the brothers that we have, and that family culture that we built over the years, that we want to go and hang out, that we want to go and work hard with our teammates.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
can absolutely
better than that.
Oh, go ahead, McKean. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I don't think you could say it any better than that. I agree with them.
Yeah, I can second that. The players have their work on the field and off the field. Us in the front office, we have our work. I mean, it's tough. Sometimes you don't get to sleep. I mean, sometimes you just come home from work, because I work for PepsiCo, and then you continue to work. But something, if I didn't care so much, I wouldn't do it. So, and the old saying goes, it's not a job if you enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know these players enjoy it. We try to give them the best atmosphere that we can, and then I know I enjoy it. I mean, going with these players and our organization to Omaha and winning a championship and being on the field with them and celebrating, and then home opener giving them their rings, like that's an awesome experience.
Yeah, that is amazing. It's commendable and awesome what you guys are doing, putting in a full day's work at another job and then coming and doing this. I mean, sheesh, I think about trying to go, worked all day. Do I want to go to the gym? No, not feeling it, but you guys are doing it. And that's fantastic. Who are some, Bobby, McCain, who are some of your soccer idols, whether indoor or outdoor? McCain, what you got?
Man, it's a long list. I grew up really studying a lot of players, and I still do to this day. A lot of people, they ask me who my favorite player is. A lot of people don't know him, but his name is Miguel Almiron.
Him. Where's he from, or where did he play?
He's from Paraguay. He just
Okay.
Newcastle the last 3 years, and he's been with Atlanta United, and he just returned there. But also a lot of the guys that I play with now, I grew up watching these guys, and they've always been good. So like I'm a guy who can learn and watch things and, get better as a player from players that I can see, and be around. So, of course, there's guys like, Admir, Darlington Nagby. He's a big player, a big name. A lot of people know. We got defenders like Bobby and DJ. How could you not want to, you can't get better than that, can you?
No, I
Amen to that.
I don't know. Bobby, what about you? Any soccer idols? If you can.
May have lost you guys.
Okay, I can still hear you if we've lost you. If you're there and you can hear us,
Yeah,
chime
we
in.
got you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay, don't get it. We don't want any problems with the driving here, but so we'll just we'll keep you there and we'll kind of go around. Well, Ryan, what about you? You had to have a love of the game to be in ownership. I mean, what drew you?
Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you, Bobby. Can you hear us? Okay.
We can hear you, Bobby.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. It was something with the. I'm not able to see, but we were at the question about idols.
Yeah, soccer idols. Not sure if he's getting us or not. So darn.
I can hear you now.
Okay, Bobby, I was just asking if you had any specific soccer idols growing up, or or otherwise.
I'm gonna stick with Hector Marinero and Zoran Karic. Obviously, having a personal relationship with them, and because we are talking crunch. Playoffs are about a month away. I loved those guys growing up, and they gave me an opportunity to go on the field after crunch games at the convention center. And Hector was my coach at John Carroll for a couple years. So I'm gonna stick with those two.
Excellent choice. An excellent choice. Very familiar. I'm more familiar with Rob Marinero from Kent State. And he's a friend of. He's been on with us a couple of times here, so definitely enjoy that. As my one friend, I had a best friend, kind of different, but we got to go on the field at the Convocation Center, and I'll ask the 3 questions he'd like to ask players. Bobby, we'll start with you. First of all, how fast can you run the 40?
I don't know. I never have.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I would hope. I don't know. I want to hear McCain's answer first because I'm faster than him. That's for sure.
Okay, McCain, how fast can you run the 40?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to call up my coaches at Cortland State and ask them what they wrote down for me.
Okay. Then McCain, how much can you bench press?
I just do at home workouts. I don't go to the gym.
What about you, Bobby? I know you're lifting weights. How much can you bench?
I could get 2 plates on each side.
Okay.
All right, and then here's the key. How are the ladies? That he had to ask everybody. How are the ladies?
Life is good for us both, I'm sure.
Excellent. Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
Good safe answer.
I recently got engaged, though.
Congratulations!
Congrats.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. Did you already get the wedding date set, or?
Yeah, it's in a few months, June 7th. So we're prepping for that. It's been very stressful because of the size of the wedding, my ethnicity, and my community.
The most important question though is where are you honeymooning?
I cannot wait for that. Hawaii.
I'll crash that. Since I won't crash the wedding, I'll crash the honeymoon.
I don't think you're invited, McCain.
Maui.
Oh,
We're excited.
wow.
Well, hopefully you'll have an extra ring after April that you can spare.
That's right.
There you go. You could give your bride to be the championship ring, right? That's exactly what she wants.
Right in front of the altar. Imagine that.
Yes. I think that would be fantastic. So you guys have 2 games left in the regular season. One against, as we were talking about before the show, PAO Chicago, POW Chicago, and then just Chicago. Chicago coming up, I believe, what is the first one on the list? That's this Saturday. How you guys feeling about heading into those games? Feeling pretty good, you know?
Next Saturday, Ethan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. So let's see. I was looked at the schedule wrong here, so I do apologize for that. But are you guys feeling pretty good going into those and ready? I know, Bobby, you're just coming back from that injury, and so you are, kind of got to get back up to speed and into fitness.
Yeah, I'm excited for those last 2 games. We have to set a tone to roll over into the playoffs, because we could potentially see Chicago on that Friday. So we need to set the tone, and then I also need to get it back in my rhythm, and those 2 games will allow me to do so.
All right. Yeah. What about you, McCain?
Yeah, I agree. I think everybody's in good spirits, high spirits. It's the end of the season, so this is what we do, what we train so hard for, and I think we're just itching for any sort of game, whether it's Chicago, Omaha, no matter who. We're always ready to go. We're always itching to play, So of course we're looking forward to 2 Saturdays coming up. So I think we'll be ready to go.
That is excellent, and I got to tell you, I heard that you live by a motto: you can't rush greatness.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes,
where did you pick that up, or where did you hear of that?
Wow, no one's ever asked me that question, but funny story: the Cavs win the 2016 championship. I was in Vegas, lucky enough to be around some of the players, and I was just explaining my situation and what I wanted to do for myself to a guy named Chris Paul, and that's the only thing he said to me, and it just stuck with me from that on. So I try to live by it, and that goes with everything, not just soccer, So that's where it came from.
Wow, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I know that that must have been wild and crazy times there, and
Yeah,
a little bit. We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
the Crunch Championships, though, I will say that.
Right.
So I was just looking. Your guys' practice starts at 7:30, right?
We just have to be around the area at 7:30 and be ready to go.
Yeah,
I was just looking at my watch. I want to make sure you guys don't get in trouble.
Yeah, you let us know as when you need to jump off, and it's all good. We understand. We really appreciate again all of your time being here with us again, folks. I just want to post up here if you want to find out about tickets for the upcoming MLIS championship the weekend, because it's starting on April 11th. There'll be 2 games. Then Saturday is the WMLIS championship. Correct, Ryan?
Yep, women's Major League Indoor Soccer Championship is Saturday at 6 p.m.
Right, and then the men's championship, the MLIS championship, will be on Sunday, but there'll be the 2 semifinal games on Friday at the Wolstein Center on the campus of Cleveland State University. Formerly for us old folks as the Convocation Center. So that'll be fantastic. I know how great of an atmosphere that can be. As we were discussing before the show, just being there for those championship games. And so let's see, McCain, you went to Rush, and then you went to SUNY Cortland. How'd you end up there?
Just kind of just going all over the place, honestly. My main goal was to go to Syracuse University.
Okay.
I have a good relationship with Ian McIntyre. He's the head coach there. He's been there for a while.
Oh darn. McCain, I lost you there. It muted, or I lost your audio. Not sure what happened there. can't hear you right this second. Shucks. Okay.
I can hear you if you ask me a question.
Okay, I can.
Sorry.
Yes. No. Hey, thank you. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. So you went closer by. You went North Royalton over to John Carroll. You didn't go too far. Were there opportunities for you to go, to go elsewhere that you would thought about, pursuing soccer, or a degree or whatever it was that you might want to do?
Completing college and receiving a degree was the biggest priority. The first one in my immediate family to do so. So that was the main priority. And then when I was younger, I was smaller, so I didn't really have. I had passion for it, but I wasn't the best. So that kind of pulled me down a little bit. I lost a little bit of motivation because of that. And then, so be it, after about 20 years old, I hit a different level, and at that time, it's too late sometimes.
Well,
to
here's
pursue
a question.
soccer.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that too, about, you were smaller when you were growing up, and it took a while to find it. So, kind of two questions here. Like, growing up, did you find out you wanted to do soccer and you concentrated on that, throughout your childhood, or are you a multi-sport person and the love of soccer came later? And then number two, when did you realize you were good at soccer and this was going to be a thing for you?
I'll take this, and then I might have to jump off, McCain.
Okay.
I'm about to pull in. I gotta see the trainer and whatnot before. But the love of soccer was always there. Otherwise, I would have gave up on it. When I noticed, that I was.
Oh,
Northeast Ohio cell coverage. I think it's
yeah,
been the best.
that is no good. But that is okay. That is all right. If Bobby is not able to, if it doesn't recover, he doesn't get back on. That is okay. That's a mystery. That's a to be continued story, or to be continued answer. McCain, how you arriving at the facility? Okay, McCain, I'm so sorry. Still having problems with the audio here. But listen, I know you've got to get the practice. So I want to say thank you so much for being on. Good luck the rest of the season. Thank you again. So want to thank the players that were on, McCain Spragling and Bobby Conchar. Thank you very much for being on. Have a great night, and good luck the rest of the way. Okay, McCain?
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, sir. All right. I think we're going to have. No, I can't.
So, Ryan, while they're figuring the technical aspect out, I did have something I've been wanting to ask you for a while. It's so cool that you guys brought the crunch back. But I know you didn't start out as, a soccer owner, a soccer guy. I think you'd been in the automobile industry for quite some time before that. How did you go from that to being a co-owner of the Crunch? How did that happen?
That's an awesome question, Mike. So the pandemic comes, and I see a news story that the Cleveland Crunch are coming back. And when I was a kid, my father had season tickets to the Richfield Coliseum, to the Force. And the Crunch did play at the Coliseum 1 year before they moved to Convocation Center. So my dad would always take me to games, and that was like a bonding thing. It was just a father-son thing, right? So I see this news story, and my daughter, she is into soccer. And I looked at my daughter and I said, "Hey, the Cleveland Crunch, this is a team that I grew up watching." I said, "Would you be interested in going to a game with me? We'll find out where they're playing, and we'll go." And she's like, "Yes, Daddy, yeah." So I took her to a game, and we had a blast. And then I ended up buying season tickets the rest of the way. And then, the thing about the Sportsplex is that you have such a intimate atmosphere, and it was even a little more intimate during COVID because you could only put a couple hundred people in there, not even. So, I got to talking to the owners at the time, Luciano Rashido and Eric Davis, and the whole Rashido family, and just kind of gave them my background. I have a sales and marketing background, and I'm always one to give ideas or to pitch my own ideas. And I'm like, hey, you could get this sponsor, or you could do this here. And so then that season was magical because then they went on, they were an M2 at the time, and they went on to, come back and just win a championship. And they beat the Wichita Wings. In Wichita. Yeah. And, the next season rolls around, and Lucci contacts me, and he's like, hey, we want you to be a part of the organization. We want you to, and I'm like, well, I work full time, and I was out of the auto industry at the time. I got out of the auto industry right before, or right really when COVID took off.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at it as an opportunity to get out, kind of like the mafia. So I got out, and got the position with PepsiCo with the Frito-Lay division. And I was like, you know what, I could do something on the side, and I could try to help sell sponsorships or help sell tickets or come up with ideas. And that's how it all started, is just kind of networking with the family and the Rashidos. And I'm very grateful to them because it was at the end of the season, and then we ended up losing to San Diego Sockers in the championship that second year, and that was second year in M2, and that was rough. And we made it all the way to the championship, and we lost to a team that I remember.
Yep, with Bronco Segota.
With Kevin Crow and Bronco Segota and I think Zoltan Toth. But
yes. Oh, boy.
But so that's how it all started. It was a father-daughter thing that I just wanted for bonding, to kind of relive, what I had with my father. And then, now to be able to take Riley around the players and, take her on the, I promised Riley, I said, if we win the championship on that Sunday, we got to get there first. But if we do it, you're coming on the field with me, and you're holding that trophy. And to be able to give a memory like that to my kids is, there's no price on that.
That's amazing. And how old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
8 and 12.
Oh, that's like the perfect age for this too. That's amazing.
Yeah. My daughter's the 12-year-old, and my son's the 8-year-old, and it's what started out as
are they playing soccer too?
What's that?
Are they playing soccer?
Yeah, she does. He does not. But our family's active as any other family. Karate, gymnastics, Cub Scouts, soccer, you name it. Science club, clubs after school, art club. You name it, we probably do it.
So you're doing that in essentially 2 jobs. So I salute you for all of that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, my kids are not in near as many activities, and even those few activities that they do combined with everything that I'm doing, and Mike has the ultimate calendar of sports and activities to do. You got this guy.
Yeah, I don't know
everywhere.
I don't own a sports team though, so
yeah,
that's on a whole nother level.
Exactly. I mean, I was able to actually, Ryan, pull up the picture here from this summer at the ESPN Cleveland block party. The trophy's impressive. I was, glad to be able to get a picture there, and that was really exciting. Glad you had a presence. The team had a presence down there, because I don't know. It's obviously you're attracting great crowds. how do you feel, the growth is for the Crunch? What does the future hold? Is there the possibility of being able to get enough maybe season ticket holders to get into a larger venue? What are the options?
Yeah, I think the growth's been tremendous. At least while I've been on board. I mean, I guess COVID's a variable because you can only put so many people in, but every year we've grown as far as season tickets. I mean, this is the second year in a row where we've sold out every single game,
Wow.
every home game. And I know it's a small venue, but we make the most out of it. We pack them in as far as we can, and they all sell, and that place is electric. And you got 700 screaming fans that I think that's what kind of makes the Crunch special. It's gonna, if we end up leaving to go to a bigger venue, I'll miss that because it was one of the things that Riley really liked about going to the games is, wow, Daddy, we can get so close to them, and that intimate atmosphere. I mean, go to a Browns game and see how close you can get to them.
And you're not spending $500 for a family of 3 to go to a game.
And you know what, Mike, that's a great point. Especially being a director of sales, it's like I want to me in sales is you have to put a value on what you're getting, and I believe the Crunch entertainment factor of it is really good bang for your buck for a family. I mean, go anywhere now and tell me where you can get your family in for less than $100. Yeah, I think our brand is definitely there. I think people are. It's definitely a lot less. Oh my God, I didn't know the Crunch were back, and more of, oh yeah, the Cleveland Crunch, because that's tough. That's tough. I mean, I work my tail off to market and promote and social medias and getting out to the communities and you hear, oh, I didn't know the Crunch were back. That kind of hurts a little. So I take it to heart.
Yeah, as absolutely as I can imagine you would. And here we're just going to pause for just a second because the great thing about this podcast, Ryan, is that later on, this is going to be on as part of the Fanatical Elves Network and Fans for Sports Network. You'll be able to find the audio of this on any of your favorite podcast platforms. If you just want to listen to the audio on Spotify or Apple, your Apple iTunes, podcasts and stuff like that. And so with that, we're going to take a brief break here, a brief moment of time for the sponsors to talk. You are tuned into Going nuCLEar, full-blown coverage of the land. And welcome back to Going nuCLEar, full-blown coverage of the land. Thank you for tuning in. Mike Rasinski, Ethan Greenberg, and our guest Ryan Ruiz, now one of the co-owners of the Cleveland Crunch. And earlier we had on Bobby Kanchar and McCain Spraggling. They are busy and they are practicing. They are practicing. We're not ready to talk about the playoffs yet. I mean, they might be thinking about Jim Mora, and he might be, but he's talking about.
We're talking about practice, not a game. Not a game. We're talking about practice.
Right, but we got to stop them short of talking about the
playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Yeah, so practice first. You got to talk to Allen Iverson about the practice there.
Yeah, and I guess just to ground everybody too, we never really let off with there's 2 games left. The Crunch are in first place at 9-1 with already have a clinched a playoff spot, and I think you guys are 1 win away from actually clinching the number 1 seed if I'm looking at the standings right, because you guys got a game and a half lead over number 2 Amarillo, and then what is it? The 4 and 5 teams have a play-in essentially, and then you would play the winner of that.
Yeah, so 4 and 5 right now. It's tentatively scheduled for the Sportsplex on Thursday night. So that would be a Thursday night game. That would be April 10th. and that would be the 4 and 5. And if you think about that, whoever that wild card winner is, they have their work cut out for them. They would have to go and play Thursday. They would play in one of the semis on Friday. And then if they win, they would have to play on Sunday. So that is a tough road. I am happy that we are not a part of that. And that's how that play-in game would work. It'd be 4 and 5 to get into that early semifinal game.
And you don't have to travel. So with the playoffs being in Cleveland this year, you get that advantage as well. You get to sleep in your own beds, and you don't have to worry about coming here. Such
a blessing, Mike. We've traveled the last 5 years. I'm sorry, 4 seasons. And I was in Omaha last year, and then we were in Chicago the year before, and we were in where were we? We were in Muskegon the year before that, and then we were in Wichita the year before that. So to be able to host the finals, this is something that this is not something that's going to come around all the time, and it's kind of like hosting an all-star game or a Super Bowl. You don't know if you're going to get it again, but we put in the work, we put in the time and effort to make sure that these finals go smooth and secured the venue with Wolstein. And for it to come full circle, 20 years since indoor soccer has been played at the Convocation/Wolstein Center, I think is amazing.
Yeah. Now, what are, you and I talked about this a little bit, previously, but how are you said there's been a bump in the ticket sales for the championship weekend. What are you hoping to have crowd wise, or what do you expect crowd wise?
If I base this off of the IX Center and knowing that, our goal at the IX Center was to have 2,500 seats available, and that's what we did. We set up. We had the IX Center set up all the seating on both sides of the field, and then we went chairs all the way around, and we filled it up. So if we go off of that, 6,000 people came through the door. That first game, there was standing room only. So my number is 5,000.
That's great.
And I believe in the Wolstein Center holds 14,000, between 13 and 14,000. And I believe if we can fill that lower bowl, you're going to get 5,000 fans. The good thing about it is I believe that if we can get 5,000 fans for the semifinals, then I got to believe that Cleveland's going to show up and show out to watch us try to win a championship on Sunday and get 5,000 more. Or I'd take those same 5,000 fans. So that's my goal. That's my thought. Again,
that's very reasonable. I think that's quite attainable without a problem. I mean, soccer is huge in Cleveland, and in the Northeast Ohio. You look at the rich history just in Northeast Ohio from a professional soccer standpoint, and then people love their sports there in Cleveland, don't we?
We do.
And how often do you get to see a championship?
What's that?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but how often do you get to see a championship play out in Cleveland too?
Exactly. The thing about Cleveland fans and Cleveland sports is they want to win, and they're very supportive. Well, I have a message to all the Cleveland fans. We win, and we win a lot. We've only lost 2 home games, so come see us. Come see what the excitement is. I mean, to steal what is the St. Louis Rams? We're the greatest show on turf in the land. Like we believe in our fan base, and we believe in our team, and Cleveland wants a winner. We do win 2 of the 4 seasons that we've been back. This being the 5th, we have a title.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Now, let me ask you this, just about the, and I guess this would relate to the growth of the sport and the market there in Cleveland. There's the Cleveland Professional Soccer group, and they're working, and they're going to be getting what we've been awarded an MLS Next franchise, correct?
Correct. That's Michael Murphy's group. Yep.
Right, right. And they're working on, or they were in the process. They put a bid in on, oh geez, the NWSL didn't get that this time around. But how much of an impact would or will additional professional soccer in Cleveland help the Crunch?
I think it will. I think it'll help both ways because we've already collaborated with Cleveland Pro Soccer, and we've been in Michael Murphy's office. And hey, Michael, how can we help you guys? And we pushed really hard for that bid, and Cleveland was so close, but it came down to money, and I forgot who got it.
Denver? Did Denver get it?
Denver, and Denver got it. But everybody at Cleveland Pro Soccer Group is great, and we're on the cusp of the World Cup coming to the United States or North America, and I think having Cleveland outdoor pro team, either next or a women's team, is only going to do good things. It's more collaboration. On Fan Appreciation Night, we got to collaborate with the Columbus Crew. The Columbus Crew came to Fan Appreciation Night, so it would be awesome to collaborate with, and then we do, Cleveland does have Cleveland SC that plays in the NPSL. So, we try to, they just put a post out today for us, hey, congratulations on clinching. So it's not competition to me. It's a network, and we all work together, and we can all grab a piece of the pie and the fan base and everything.
So, what do you think? What is the future of the league of MLIS2? I understand, leagues like this, they'll contract, they'll expand. Do you foresee the league expanding and getting more teams? I know you said you might get more games, in the coming years too.
I do, Mike. I do. In fact, it's already confirmed. Salt Lake City has a team coming in. Las Vegas has a team coming in, and there's one more. Orlando Athletica, a club that's been around for a long time. Orlando Athletica, and a great ownership there. They've been following the whole season. So yes, to answer your question, the league is getting bigger. I won't mention the other main league, but we can compete with them. And I wanted to really answer that question when you asked that to the guys. Like, yeah, we're MLIS, and people compare us to M2, but I put my team against a lot of the MASL teams, and I will also double down and say I'll put our fan base in front of or compared to any of those other teams, as well as just attendance alone. So I think the competition is good in our league, and yeah. I think we could easily be a part of the competition in those other leagues.
I think, yeah, here's a marketing idea. You should have a crossover event sometime in the off season. Have some kind of like barnstorming. You're like, just challenge one of those other teams. Like, hey, come to Cleveland, we'll take you on.
Yeah, Mike, it's great. I remember the first year, either first or second year, Utica from MASL, Utica City. That's Tommy Tanner's team.
Oh, former
Crunch. So you got that network, but that you can do that. You can play friendlies, before the season. Orlando is not in the league. I'm sorry, they're in the league, but they're not participating in 2025. But Orlando was one of our exhibition games. Okay. So, yeah, it's a great idea. We've toyed with that idea a lot of playing another team as a friendly exhibition.
Yeah, I remember I saw the Blast play the Invaders in Canton.
Yep.
And I'm
Yep.
pretty sure, did the Invaders ever play the Force or the Crunch? They probably the Crunch would have
Yeah,
been.
they did. They would have played the Crunch. Yep.
Those are some amazing times. And I think about an arena like the Canton Civic Center. I think maybe 3,000-4,000 capacity. I mean, that seems like that would be like an ideal size if you were to increase size. Maybe that kind of a capacity might be something that would be a good next step to be able to get in even more fans, without taking away the intimacy.
Yeah, there's been a lot of meetings over the years here about venues and with all of us in the organization, and you name it, we've talked about it. So let's just see. Let's see what happens here in April. I'll follow Coach Manfoot's mantra: is let's go 1 quarter at a time, 1 minute at a time, one game at a time, and let's let the chips fall where they fall. But I will say this: if Cleveland can show up, show out, support Major League Indoor Soccer, support the Cleveland Crunch at the Wolstein Center, there could be a future in downtown Cleveland for the Cleveland Crunch moving forward.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is really fantastic, and we are all hoping for that, because I know how much I loved it growing up, and I hope, and it seems like you guys have brought that kind of love back to the Cleveland area, and it's just awesome. Like you said, you can't go many places. You can't even go to the movies without a family, as a family, and not end up spending $100 or more, by the time you go to the concession stand. So yeah, big fun, big fun there.
Yeah, that's everything that we've aimed. Exactly what you said, is to just bring that nostalgia back, honor the past, but also create our own presence. And I think we've done that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go here. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for bringing on Bobby and McCain. This was wonderful. This is amazing. We are going to be following you, and we'll definitely be providing updates, and we'll look forward to talking to you again in the near future. We won't be strangers. Again, folks, you can go to the web address here, go to theclevelandcrunch.com. There's details on the tickets there for the playoffs. You can also go to wolsteincenter.com. Follow the Cleveland Crunch on Facebook. Where else can they? What other social media stuff are you on? I know you're on Twitter or X, whichever you call it. But
yeah, just Facebook, Instagram, and X. Yep. At Cleveland Crunch. Yep.
All right, fantastic. Well, Ryan, thank you very much for being with us, for joining us, for arranging all this. This was an absolute pleasure, and best of luck here in the coming weeks. Looking forward to you guys hopefully bringing home another title to the land.
Got a lot of work ahead of us, but we are up to the challenge. I appreciate you, Ethan. Mike, really nice talking to you.
You as well. Thank you.
And this is cool. I love the Going nuCLEar logo. It looks awesome.
Thank you very much. I can't take credit for designing it, but but it's my general anger toward Cleveland sports that has me going nuCLEar all the time.
We just got to make a deal, though. I love the fire intro, and you got all those logos.
I gotta add in the Crunch.
Maybe we win a championship. We can get
what I do. I will work on it. I promise. I do need to work on that. So we will get you in there. Ryan, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it, and we'll let you get to your evening and all of your busyness and your activities.
Yes, thank you. I am not going to training tonight. I will be going on Thursday, but yeah, I appreciate you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we will talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, here. Let's see, Mike. Wow.
That was pretty cool. It's great. It brings back a lot of memories. of going to like crunch games. Those are some of the formative years, I think, for both of us growing up. And it's so great that they brought back, the team. And I think a lot of people in Northeast Ohio still have good memories of a crunch. And they're winning. They're a good team. That's even better.
It is. We don't see a lot of that around here, so it is always fantastic to see that. And yeah, it's amazing what they're doing. I certainly want to thank Ryan and Bobby and McCain and everybody there. And if folks, just so you know, as you're listening to us, check them out. And if you can't get to the game, I know, well, their home slate is done. So if you're there in town, you need to get to the playoffs. You need to get to the playoffs. They are going to be playing in the semifinals on Friday, April the 11th at 7 o'clock down at the Wolstein Center, formerly the Convocation Center on the campus of Cleveland State. But they've got a great announcer, doing their games, doing the play-by-play. Kevin Arnold, he's amazing. He's been so kind as to join us on Going nuCLEar in the past. And he does a wonderful job of really promoting everybody on that team. And it's just amazing to see what they're doing because, as you said, Mike, it's a lot of great memories. And more importantly, that in building the memories, they're winning.
Yeah. And, how often do you get a chance to actually like go see a team, your team, a hometown team, actually win a championship? And the fact that they're playing the finals in Cleveland and they're good this year. I mean, like everything is kind of conspiring. Go see them, and take your kids and see if you can watch a championship being won in Cleveland.
Hey,
might be the only chance.
having been there at the ones in the 90s at the Convocation Center, it was incredible. It absolutely was incredible. Again, we'll go to the Wolstein Center website, go to the Cleveland Crunch website, and be sure to check out how to get your tickets for the playoffs and that event that is coming up starting on Friday, April the 11th. I mean, I'll tell you what, Mike, I mean, you talk about winning championships and seeing things. I still think about and recollect and talking to people about seeing Kent State win their first MAC title.
Yes.
Great memories of that. I mean, I know you were there doing more of the job than I necessarily was, but just thinking about that, how do you relate that to kind of what the potential is as a fan to see the crunch?
Yeah, I know. I think it's really cool. Those are the things you don't forget. And the fact too, that like, say you went to like a Guardians World Series game or something, you'd probably, spend $500 and you'd be in the nosebleeds. And this is an experience where you could, it's going to be a close, intimate seat, no matter where you sit. And you can probably bring your whole family for like, we're talking about less than $100. And those are like the memories like your kids aren't going to forget, or you're not going to forget either.
Exactly. Well, I don't know. Road trip? No.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Maybe DC will get a team here soon.
Yeah, and certainly the outdoor soccer, I mean, the Columbus Crew having recently won a championship. Soccer is just, it's got a lot of deep roots in Northeast Ohio, and I know that they don't have the weather, so playing indoor soccer is amazing to have that as an option.
Mm-hmm.
It
really is.
Such good franchises there. Well, Mike, I don't know. I had a couple things here, but I'll just ask: has anything got you going nuCLEar this week?
So I'm gonna go with the price of movie tickets. Now that we started talking about it, I took the family to I have a family of 5, and we went to the movies 2 weeks ago because the 4-year-old really wanted to see Red Hulk, so we went and saw Captain America. He fell asleep during the first half of the movie, but luckily woke up when the Red Hulk scenes came on. So he swears he saw the whole thing and he's super happy. Like for a family of 5, and all we got was some popcorn and some drinks, man, it was like $150. It was ridiculous. And that, yeah, it's impossible to go anywhere nowadays and not spend more than $100. And that like, this is the, when I was young and walked up hill both ways to school. Like movies were like $5 and the sodas were like $2. I don't think movie prices have kept up with the price of inflation. I think they've gone a little higher.
Yeah,
So,
that is to say the least.
Yeah.
To say the least, that's an understatement there, Mike. Well, the going nuclear that has hit me in the past day or so is post-selection Sunday. The asshattery out of the Attorney General and Governor of West Virginia and their political grandstanding about the robbery that went on, that West Virginia, the crappy Mountaineers, didn't get a spot in the NCAA tournament. Hey, quit your crying, Chowderhead. You stunk, okay? You want to play in game, instead of North Carolina? No, you're not winning the title, okay? Win some games during the season, and then you won't leave it up to the people who have to make these selections. Furthermore, I read one of these nincompoops write something to the effect of, I'd like to talk to them and find out how they do this. Do you really? Do you really? Because if you go on the NCAA website, it'll tell you in way too much detail what they do to figure out the teams. It was not about one person on the committee from North Carolina deciding that they needed to be in versus West Virginia. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's uninformed. And that's the kind of problem we have here with everything now. You can't just lose. You lose and you complain and something's wrong and you were cheated. No, you lose. You get nothing. You lose. Go home. I'm sick of you people.
Yes, very well said. And yeah, and may God have mercy on your soul. We are all.
May God have mercy on your soul. Oh boy, Mike. Well, that is what has me going nuclear this week. And hopefully some of the sting will go away tonight of all of my nuclear-ishness. If KSU can hold on here against the Bonnies, and maybe the Cavs can pick up a late night win out against the Clippers. I don't know if Mobley's playing or not, but it would be nice to have him back in the lineup, because certainly his presence, or the lack thereof, was missing on Sunday afternoon. Could have used him.
Well, let's just start another 15-game winning streak to end the season.
I think that's what we got to do. Let's just do it. Let's just win the whole bleeping thing. That's what we
right.
do. All right, Mike. Well, Mike, thank you so much tonight. And again, I want to thank our guests, Ryan Ruiz, McCain Spragling, and Bobby Kanchar. Ryan, Bobby, and McCain from the Cleveland Crunch. Really appreciated them being on. Again, folks, you can find all of the find our podcast. We are part of the Fanatical Elves Network and the Fans First Sports Network. You can find us on all of your favorite podcast platforms if you want to listen back to the audio. And we will be back again next time with lots more sports topics and things that have us going nuclear. So for Mike Rasinski, I'm Ethan Greenberg, and you have been tuned in to Going Nuclear, full-blown coverage of the land.